Please stop. Please stop whatever you're doing and listen to my words. Tune into me. You are not ready to be omnipresent with your content unless you are at multi-seven figures of revenue. So how do you turn your business into an actual brand? Well, my name is Bijal Patel, and I've had 13 years of corporate experience working at big Fortune 500 companies, and I'm taking all of that juicy firsthand experience and have brought it into my company Launch. Within this podcast, you're going to learn about branding, vision, identity, mindset, and how to scale your business to the next level. So let's go ahead and own your brand. The 3 reasons your brand is not growing the way that you thought it was. So brand strategy is the total full package, the strategy of who are you attracting? How's your messaging working? Is your tone of voice landing? Are the marketing campaigns that are underneath the strategy working? Are you growing your audience? Are you getting higher conversion rates? How is your sales going? Is your revenue increasing? Is your cash collected increasing? These are the kind of things that brand strategy help to form. And when your brand's not growing, what you're saying is that I'm not reliably getting customers month over month. I'm not consistently able to keep the clients I have. I'm not able to get those word of mouth referrals that I was once getting or have never gotten, but I see other people getting them. And the top 3 reasons for that is number 1, the most obvious one, people don't know about you. People don't know about your brand. They don't know about you. Maybe they met you once and they saw it or whatever, but they don't know about you. You're not in their top of mind awareness, which is TOMA. They don't remember you off the bat, which is brand recall. They just don't know about you. So if people don't know about you, how are they going to buy your amazing programs? How are they going to buy your amazing products? How are they going to find you and know that you were the person they were searching for? So not having that brand recognition in the marketplace is so choking for a brand. And it pains me when I see this because I remember when I first started, it was the same thing for me. It's like people would find me and we'd hop on a call or something, or they'd find me on social media. Maybe they watched one of my YouTube videos or saw my Facebook lives and they're like, oh my God, Bijal, you are the exact person I've been looking for because I have a pretty good offer, but I'm not able to get it to resonate with the market. I don't know exactly what I should talk about. I don't know how to attract my ideal clients because when they come in, they just kind of come in. And I need your help to be able to come up with an actual strategy so that my brand, can be seen by more people. So knowing that brand recognition is so important. So the recognition and the recall and knowing that other people, new blood, as long as old blood that loves you, but maybe you're not showing up in the algorithm because the algorithms on every social media platform, the only thing that's predictable about them is that they're going to change. Okay. So that is a major cause for why people's brands don't end up growing. The second reason that your brand is not growing is that you are not staying focused. So we're just talking to a prospect the other day on the phone, and he had just come to our first luxury brand intensive that I threw here in Houston. By the way, I live in Houston, Texas, if you don't know that. And we just had our first event in spring of this year in March. And he was absolutely phenomenal. And when I was talking to him and asked him about, hey, what's your strategy moving forward? He was a little haphazard on I know Facebook's working, but I think about jumping onto LinkedIn too. Because I want to be omnipresent with my content. Actually, that's what he said. I want to be omnipresent with my content. Okay, please stop. Please stop whatever you're doing and listen to my words. Tune into me. You are not ready to be omnipresent with your content unless you are at multi-seven figures of revenue. Meaning, if you are not at $2 million or more of revenue, I need you to hop off the multi-channel, I need to be omnipresent bus. Now, I'm not saying that if you are set up with your team to potentially be on one main platform, and then maybe your team fractionalizes your content for you, and you're able to do that in an operationalized way where it doesn't drain your focus, that's a completely different story. But that's not what most people are doing. Most of the time, you've got a small team of maybe you and a VA or 3 or 4 or 5 people, and you're trying to focus your efforts on being on YouTube and also being on Instagram and being on Facebook. And then also you decided you're going to start LinkedIn because your friend told you that that was a great place to get leads. That's not going to work, okay? So being omnipresent and getting off of one channel, all of the big players who have enormous audiences will tell you this. And I have multiple mentors who are at multi-8 figures, and they will tell you, focus on one channel. Focus on one place where you get traffic from. So if Facebook is it for you, stay focused on Facebook. Facebook is where you should live then. And then if your content gets spread elsewhere, so be it. But don't do the shiny object thing. Please stop looking at Gary Vee and start thinking that you need to put your content everywhere. Please stop listening to Ed Milet and deciding that Ed Milet has a podcast, so you should have a podcast. The number of people who write a book or start a podcast when they have no following is immense. And it is an enormous waste on your time, energy, resources, and self-belief, because you're going to put out a book and it's going to be crickets, or you're going to start a podcast and it's going to be great. We don't want to do that. There's a time and a place, and I want you to dream about having a podcast. I want you to write your book, and it's going to be amazing, but it's not going to grow your brand. What's going to grow your brand is when you focus on one thing in one channel. That is really going to grow you to the next level. Now, here's the thing. Hey, so quick pause. Have you gotten a big piece of value from any of the episodes so far? If you have, I would absolutely love if you could share this with someone else you think could benefit from this. A principle of mine is to give it forward, because that like energy creates more like energy, and it'll all come back to you in the form of karma. So just want to say thanks again for listening, and let's get back to the show. Here's the thing, because there's 3 reasons why brand's not growing. If you have completely dominated one channel and you feel amazing, and you've got that consistent, you have the SOP, standard operating procedures, you have the team, you have the systems, it's like almost on autopilot. Yes, congratulations, my friend. You have won the right to be able to open up to another channel. Start your podcast if you have a set of audience and of followers and your cash flow is good and you know that, hey, marketing wise, this is going to be a great next move for us. But here's what I would say. Don't do too many things at once. So if you have one platform and it's time for you to grow and you know that you can do it and you have a consistent set of revenue and again, it's operationalized, go to one other place, bolt on one thing. So pick the book or pick the podcast, but don't do 2 at the same time, or start hitting the speaker circuit. Like, I'm on the speaker circuit. That is an amazing place to be. Like, when you're on the speaker circuit, you get invited to live events. They pay you to come. You get invited to people's podcasts so other people's audience can listen to you. Like, you don't even have to have your own podcast. Have you ever thought about that? You know how much work it is to have your own podcast? Ask me how I know. I'm over here doing it. There's a lot of work to have your own podcast. You've got to get it filmed. You have to get it edited. You need a videographer. Let's not forget about the outfits and the mics. And then you got to put it on YouTube if you're like me and like you're following what everyone else is doing with their podcast now, because we're a visual society. That audio only, some people want to look at video and I don't blame them. I do too. Sometimes I like to look at someone's face and see their expressions when they're talking. But if I'm driving in a car, then I want to listen to the podcast. Depends on what I'm doing. If I'm working out, I'm going to listen. But if I'm sitting on my couch, I prefer to be on YouTube or on Facebook or Instagram watching Reels or something like that. So it's a lot of work and it takes up bandwidth, but you can do that. Just do one at a time, because when you're you're leveraging other people's podcasts and their networks, you're still being seen. That's the point of growing your brand, is by leveraging other people's audience. And the 3rd reason that your brand is not growing is you're not being consistent. You're not being consistent. I see it. I've seen people come through our Brandfluencer 8-week program. We give them the entire thing. We're like, here's the keys to the kingdom. And they're like, yes, I got this. And when they don't stay afterward to continue to be able taught and to be held accountable to, okay, great, we've done the brand. Now let's proliferate it. Let's get into your social media content. Let's get this as a part of your email marketing. What funnels do we need to design here that like help drive your business? What lead magnets do we need to put out there so we can capture more business? When they're not a part of that, most of them start to lose their momentum where they're not even posting every day. I go back and look at their social media and I'm like, oh my God, what has been happening here? It's a ghost town. So anyone can get momentum and do something for a month or do something for 2 months, but the biggest anchor that will sink your ship in terms of your brand growth is not being consistent. So if you follow me on social media, and Facebook is my platform of choice, I post every single day, multiple times a day. Very rarely, like I did a social media detox like a couple weeks ago, and it was amazing. I got to do a whole episode on that. You will love this. You will absolutely love this. But as a part of being somebody who is seen and is visible and is constantly putting out a prolific amount of content, I need a break sometimes. But it's very rare. It is very, very rare. I'm putting out like 7 pieces of content a day because I know that I need to be in front of my audience, that my audience is hoping to see me. They're relying on me for certain things. They want to learn. They're interested to say, how do I take what she's saying and apply it to who I am? That's what the point of this is. Are you able to grab the lessons and be able to apply it to yourself? So being consistent with your audience builds the trust. They know they can count on you. They feel connected to you. They know you're going to show up. And guess what? It's great when you post when you feel like it. You know what's better is when you post when you don't feel like it. Double points on those days. It's just like the gym, okay? So like the days you want to go to the gym, good, you get 1 point. The days you don't want to go to the gym and you go to the gym anyway, you get 5 points on that day. It's amazing because that shows you the self-discipline and that you are more loyal to your big picture mission than you are to the day-to-day of how you feel. So recap again, the 3 reasons your brand isn't growing. Number 1 is that you don't have brand recognition or recall. People just don't remember you. You're not top of mind, probably because you're not putting out consistent content and you're here or there willy-nilly and the algorithm is working against you, literally. The number 2 reason that your brand is not growing is that you are trying to be omnipresent and you're jumping from channel to channel to channel. LinkedIn to YouTube to now you have a podcast and now you have a book and like 5 people, including your mom and Aunt Sally bought it. And that was it because you didn't have the audience built yet. So again, if you've already got one system and channel ready and dialed in, great, congratulations. You deserve the next thing. It's not shiny object. You have gotten to that level and you can now add in another level, whether it's speaking or a book or a podcast. And the third reason that your brand is not growing is because you're not consistent. And you know that as well as I do. If you're going to post on social media for 30 days and then you're going to ghost or never going to, or what I call post and ghost, tell me if this hurts, okay? Tell me if this hits you. And because I know I used to do it back in the day and I learned I had to show up for my audience. If you post something and your fans are commenting and you never go and give them love or comment back, I get it. If you have a big audience, I know sometimes I'm exhausted with the number of comments I get. I just can't get to all of them. I will at least react to them and let people know I saw their comment and I appreciated it. So that's something that we do as a brand because we're building a connection, but try to comment as much as you can so you're showing your audience that you're willing to engage with them. So those are the 3 reasons your brand is not growing and ways that you can actually fix it so that way you know how to turn your business into a brand.